I want to win. I want to beat this. Because what's your option? Lay down and give up on life and let it roll you over for the next 40 years till you're dead? Or do you actually want to take life by the horns and try to, because we all have a vision. We all have like this perfect way that we think the world should be. And it's different for every single one of us. And the problem with an addict dying is that vision that only they could have brought to the world is now gone forever and will never get it. And that gives me goosebumps to think about, because we lose so many visions. We should have. All right. Listen, everybody.
Take one.
Welcome to Don't Like It, Change It podcast. I'm Ninja Monkey, and this is
Coach Ray.
Coach Ray.
Coach Ray.
Please don't mind my wardrobe. It is like 14 degrees in here, so why are you wearing that sweater?
Anyway.
So I wanted to real quickly just ask you a quick question. Why did you want to start this podcast, Ray?
Oh, really? He's laughing because that was my question to him. I guess this is how the podcast is going to go.
Well, I throw you under the bus. You're going to try to throw me under the bus for that question.
So much.
I'll talk about it if you want me to say it. Like why I wanted to start the podcast?
Yeah, go ahead.
I will. Okay, so if you saw our intro video, the thing that I was talking about is that Ray has a set of topics that she's very interested in and loves to talk about, and I got my own little set of topics that I love to talk about. And there's a little bit of overlap where, like, when we get in this weird groove, things just take off and we end up riffing for like an hour and a half, 2 hours about God knows what, usually around like mindset and self-improvement and personal growth. So why I wanted to start the podcast was because I think there's a lot of value in those conversations there's so many people, even in my life personally, or me when I was younger, that had I heard conversations like that, it would have really helped me out in my life. And I think that there's a lot of people who could benefit from those conversations. So we wanted to have them here.
Right. Really, for me, he's the one that made the idea for the podcast, but we've both had so much personal growth over, I'd say, just the last 3 years that we want to help others. I mean, we're still growing and we still got a long ways to go. But once you put your mind to it and you're tired of same old, and you're ready for some change, you're capable. And me and Chris want to help just give back and help people baby step it all the way. Like, give you actionable items that's worked for us to help us get where we're at and where we're going, and help you guys do the same thing, because you're not stuck. So I thought I was stuck in a 190-pound body that couldn't exercise. Like I remember I could not do a plank.
I remember watching her try, and her belly was dangling on the floor.
My belly was dangling on the floor. I was so embarrassed because my husband's looking at me, but here I am trying my hardest to get in shape after having our son and that horrible labor experience I had. So no, I was like, Chris, I can't do a plank. My back hurts so bad. I can't hold myself up. I was just tired of being overweight, and I was a smoker too at the time. I lived off of, what do we live off of?
DiGiorno's. Basically, DiGiorno's and those little chimichanga burrito things.
And ramen noodles.
And a bunch of chicken nuggies.
Pepsi. That was our biggest. Yeah. I don't even think we drink water.
I never drank water.
I never drank water.
I just drank Pepsi all day long.
Yeah, me too. Pepsi from Come and Go. And then we smoked cigarettes. So there's a reason why we felt horrible.
And I was on painkillers.
Yeah.
Basically the entire time.
So I would complain to Chris because I wanted to lose weight and feel better about myself. And one day he just told me,
if you don't like it, change it. Stop complaining about it. Do something about it.
Yeah. And ever since I heard those words have stuck with me for 9 years now.
I repeated them a lot.
You did. You know, at first it makes you mad. That's not what you want to hear. You want someone to, oh, it's okay, baby. You're still beautiful the way you are. I like your fat booty. You know, you want to hear that
I
stuff.
did think those things. I didn't say them, though.
But no, he was always truthful with me, whether I liked it or not. And those words stuck with me because I realized he's right. You know, complaining about it is not getting me where I want to be. It's not helping our marriage. It's just whining. So I took it in my own hands. I took back control of my life. And it's just gotten better and better and better. So you're not stuck where you're at. And I think that's what I like the idea of this podcast, so that we can help you realize your potential and that you're not stuck.
Yeah. And then a lot of times I felt that it was impossible to move forward. I thought like I would never win my battle with the addiction. I thought I would die at any point, basically the whole time. I'm like, I don't even care. But when
Christopher's our son.
Something changed for sure. And I realized like that kid, he doesn't get to choose who his dad is, and I'm the only one. I'm like, well, if I'm a deadbeat dad, then like this kid's screwed. Like I have to be the one to do it. And I realized like if I continue on like this, he's going to have just a crap life, and he's going to end up worse than me or the same as me. That would be bad too. And so I thought, well, kids watch their parents more than they listen to what they say. So if I just like grow up doing drugs and say, never do this, kid, then he's definitely going to end up doing it. And so I thought, like, I have to model to him what being a good man is, which is a lot harder to do than it sounds.
You do a great job. He does a great job. You've come so far in that too.
But I figured it out, like, at some point, I think it was like Joe Rogan, the original Inspirer. He was like, pretend that your life is a movie and that you're the hero, but you're down in the dumps. You're in the worst part of the movie before they become famous or before they turn their life around. You're that person and nobody else can do it for you. And just pretend that you need to show whoever's watching this movie what it took to become the hero. And so, you know, really opens your eyes. And I realized, like, we are our own heroes. There's nobody else that's going to save us for us. We have to do it. So,
yeah, totally. So basically what this podcast, what we want to bring to you guys is that exactly, share our stories, give you actionable items every week that you can, you know, start putting to work in your own life and create some changes.
Yeah.
Definitely. We'll kind of keep it short this one, I think. We just wanted to kind of give you a taste of what future episodes are going to be about. It's going to be about mindset, health. I'm a nutrition coach. That's what I do for a living. Certified nutrition coach, personal trainer. I do group fitness classes. I'm a mom. Past obese. I used to be obese. I've come really, really far in my journey. And Chris, you want to tell them a little bit about you? Because we kind of skipped over that part.
I mean, they basically heard it already. The only thing I guess I haven't said is that for like the last 7 years, Jiu Jitsu actually really helped me quite a bit. I do Jiu Jitsu. I also compete in it. And I hope to open my own school one day called Ninja Monkeys. So it's going to be amazing. Kids are going to love that place. It's going to be like the place where everybody goes.
Yeah.
Like all the kids and the youth and stuff, they just be there all day hanging out.
Why why do you want that to be a place for youth and
because
kids?
I used to spend all my youth hanging out at the skate park and like doing drugs with people and stuff. And I realized like had I had a place like Ninja Monkeys, so I wouldn't have been able to afford Ninja Monkeys probably. So that's a piece of it, is I don't want it to be where like money is the barrier for kids to come.
Yeah.
So I want it to be profitable based on what it sells to adults, and then make it just accessible. If you have financial problems, you can just come. So I just feel like had I had that place sooner, I would have had a place to go to get away from the things I wanted to get away from. And then I would have had positive influences in my life sooner, and maybe learned a bit of information earlier on. And maybe I wouldn't have spent the next decade addicted to painkillers with my mommy, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it's like, my vision is to help that young version of me who needed so much help and didn't get it.
And there are so many kids that we see with my mom's line of work. She runs a soup kitchen, and just kind of seen that all my life. But there's so many kids who just need, you know, that light in their life.
Yeah.
The grown-ups that care, that listen, that are there for them, you know. And I think that we can build that together. So more on that. I'm sure in future episodes we'll kind of go into depth our dreams and what we're working towards together. But that's just kind of a little bit right there for sure. Me and Chris, also, we've been together since I was 16. We came to my 16th birthday party. So yeah, we've been through some stuff in our marriage as well. Like, we've come really far, and we've been really strong for each other. So hopefully we can have something to offer like married people too. Like, we've been through a lot of what I'd say what everybody goes through. Maybe.
I don't know what I feel like everybody else is normal people and I'm not normal people. So I don't know what normal people go through, but I know what I've been through.
I know what I've been through. Speaking of...
Your life wasn't normal.
Hey.
For sure. And my life definitely wasn't normal.
Okay, nobody's life's normal. I think everybody watching that's probably saying, yeah, my life's not normal either.
All right, so I gave a little bit of my vision and like who I'm out to help. What is your vision? Who are you out to help?
Oh, goodness. I want to help everybody, but...
You've got an ideal client, right?
I have an ideal client. My ideal client is past me. Women who had no self-confidence, who feel like there's no way ever I would enjoy working out or eating vegetables, because that used to be me. If you would tell me 10 years ago, 5 years ago, that I would actually crave vegetables and enjoy walking, like long walks, I would not believe you. So my ideal client is someone who doesn't think that they're capable of change, doesn't know where to start. So the beginner, I want to give you the steps in your, walking into that journey of bettering yourself, because it's never too late. And I want to create a space where it's okay to talk about your weight, your binge eating, your depression, your anxiety, just a space where it's okay, you let it out, and we work on it together. Because for so long, people in my life I didn't know how to communicate with when it comes to weight, because a lot of women are like, oh, I'm fine, they don't want to talk about it, or they're embarrassed, but we need to talk about it. And so I want to create a space where we can be real and open and tackle these issues together. The binge eating. Why am I always craving food? Why do I have diarrhea? Why am I constipated? Like, create a space where you want to tune in, you want to hear what I have to say, because I've been where you're at. So that's one of my ideal clients. But really, I have a heart for everybody. So that's just a little bit.
Hell yeah. It's a great vision. I think definitely can come together. and find some overlap there. I wonder who our ideal client is going to be like as a pair.
Right.
There's probably like a specific person who's like needs this thing more than anything. Maybe it's couples. I don't even know. But
they'll find us. I've prayed them in. They'll find us.
Yeah.
For sure.
Stoked. So, why nutrition coaching? Why? What makes you start that? Like, what was the idea? Because I remember you going to school. I remember you being super excited about it and all that. But like, what sparked that idea? Because nobody even thinks about nutrition, first of all, and then second of all, going to school to learn that.
So many reasons why. I'll try to make it quick.
There wasn't a single moment that was like, boom, this is what I want to do. Did you see a Facebook ad? What was it?
I can't really, I have to think on that, because at the moment I can't put my thumb on one specific thing. I think a lifetime of just things happening created it in me. Mm-hmm. For one, my own personal health and fitness journey, losing the weight, trying to, go through all the information and misinformation on the internet, trying fad diets, and you're like, it shouldn't be this hard, right? Like, how am I going to help people if I don't even know exactly what I'm doing? I wanted a deeper understanding. I wanted some knowledge around it. I grew up with, I don't know if you all know, but my youngest sister, she was obese her whole life. And I seen her struggle with that, with her mental health. And I watched how that impacted her. So being overweight, struggling physically, I think it's all connected with your mental health too. I know it is, because I struggled with depression, a little bit, a bout of it after I had a miscarriage. But watching her struggle, I never knew how to help her. She was not easy to talk to about her weight. She'd be the one who wanted to not talk about it. Like, we all ignored it in our family, accepted it, ignored it. But watching her struggle, one day I'm going to help her. One day I'll have the words to say. I'll be able to, be that light bulb or that motivation for her. So that was a really big driver, was, myself, learning for sure how to do it, and then helping others do it. Also, I worked for an elderly couple and watching them deteriorate. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I worked for them for almost 3 years, taking care of them. And I'm sure everybody on here has a grandma or a great grandma or someone in their life where they're like, whoa, I don't want to end up like that. Like, watching them fall and not be able to pick themselves up, or helping set them on the toilet because they couldn't even go into a squat position to use the restroom. Like,
this segment was just ruined by that drinking. I am sorry.
Yeah. So it was really eye-opening for me, like, future, like looking into the future at these elderly people, and how I did not want that to be me. I don't want to have to hire someone to come in my home and take care of me like an infant, because that's what I was doing for them. I loved them so much, and I worked for them up to the day, one of them passed away. And then watching his mother pass away just 2 years ago. Is it 2 years? 2 or
Something
3 years
like that.
ago?
Yeah.
From lung cancer, and seeing her suffer. And I watched how she ate and smoked cigarettes every day and didn't drink water. And it's like, you watching people you love suffer, and you want to help them. I've always just wanted to help.
Yeah. And knowing what I know now, I also wonder how much of her mental illness, because we were pretty sure at the time that I had similar mental illness to her. Like, I had the same problems. And so, knowing what I know now, I wonder how much of that we could have cured basically by her eating something other than Little Debbie's. Only Little Debbie's basically every single day, and like some pork chops, and then just smoke.
There's you
like how much of that? Because here's the reason why I bring it up is because my ability to focus in ADD and these mental symptoms have all cured up as I got into adulthood, and I eliminated drinking sugar. I eliminated pop. No more Red
diet.
40, all these various things, eating more whole foods, and I can focus, man. I can sit down and I can edit a video for hours. Like, it's a superpower at this point. And I wonder, like, how much better off could she have been if she had a nice balanced diet?
Yeah.
Maybe did a little bit of exercise in her life.
Yeah. Oh.
Seemed like she was pretty happy when she was a mover and she was out. Like, she had big guns, dude. Like, I feel like my biceps came from her, even though she was just a woman. Yeah. She had nice arms for a woman. So
that's something in the podcast that we'll dig into, but that's one reason for is the power of nutrition and exercise, what it can really do for you. Not just, the way you look, but the way you think, the way you feel, how happy you are. That's why I want to share the goodness, because once you feel what health feels like, and it's hard to go back. Yeah. And you'll have your days where you have that Pepsi or, the fried foods and stuff that you're not used to anymore.
Unless you're Ray.
You'll feel the difference. No.
Ray never drinks Pepsi. When's the last time you had a Pepsi?
I just can't with the Pepsi.
Like the worst.
No, I can get behind some brownies and ice cream.
Some root beer. I'll smack you one of those.
Yeah. But anyway, there's, like I was saying, watching the old people not be able to. They lost all their muscle, and
that's what got you into weightlifting.
I wanted to help them. So I'd be looking up stuff for them, about protein, helping her do the elderly lady, like helping her move her body while sitting on the couch with bands. So it did, spark something in me because I wanted to help them. I worked for them. And then after he passed, I no longer worked for them. And I'm like, now what do I do? Like, I felt purpose helping people. Mm-hmm. And I remember almost falling into a depression when I no longer had that job, because I was like, I can't go back to working in a warehouse or retail. Like, it's not filling.
Did we lose Manny and then my mom?
We lost your mom and then Manny and then my sister.
Okay, so you were already watched my mom fade.
No, Manny passed.
Oh.
And then your mom.
Oh,
and then my sister.
Yeah.
So it was a really, really hard year for us. Yeah. You can't tell by what we just said. But no, I wanted something meaningful. So I went after him. Like, I really, like I said, I think Manny and Lois trying to help them sparked something in me. Like, how can I help them? I need to know more so that I can give more. Yeah. I don't want to just clean their house and help them. I want to help them feel their best in their, 90s. He was in his 90s.
Yeah.
So, and then in the middle of my schooling, my sister passed away. And
I remember that, like, that was super hard. Well,
still is.
And you had that question of like, what, like, why even continue? Like,
I almost quit.
Yeah. Like, cause that was such a huge portion of it is you wanted to be able to help your sister. And I'm like, no, you have to keep going. Number one, she's going to be so proud of you. And then number two, there is still a bunch of Tories out there who need your help. And like, oh man, it's going to make me tear up thinking about it. But that's like, I remember that being such a huge driver, and that was what separated nutrition from like the personal training thing. Was it meant so much. It was a deep meaning behind nutrition.
Because nutrition changed my life.
Yeah.
When I started learning nutrition, and when I was working on putting the good in it, it didn't just change me physically. It changed I never had to go on medications, which I was very close to many times.
Like anxiety stuff or
Anxiety,
antidepressants.
you know, my family always told me anxiety runs in the family.
Runs in the family.
A lot of them are on disability because of anxiety. And I'm the person, I'm not accepting what people tell me how I'm supposed to be. I almost passed away from COVID. They told me it would be hard. I was sent home on oxygen. I was in ICU for, I don't even know, it was such a blur. Weeks. Sent home on breathing machine. I couldn't walk 13 steps. I couldn't walk 13 steps without my oxygen on. And they told me it was going to be a long, hard road. And I was not accepting that. I have come too far. That's a story for another day.
You can't just say half the story, man.
I'm doing it.
All right.
You'll listen to me some other time talk about it.
I feel like we've kind of covered a little bit about just the vision and the mission and the purpose of this podcast. A little bit of my story, a little bit of your story. Do you want to wrap up this little segment and jump straight into the next one?
We can wrap this up. But first off, we are working on something, and I like to give out challenges. That's my job as a coach. Chris here, he's come so far. He's changed in so many ways. But there's one thing we're working on together, especially since we've started a podcast. And what we're working on is, I'm going to just go show this closely to the camera.
I could zoom in, but okay.
A cuss jar. So yeah, Chris still has.
I feel like I'm going to do really well because now that the camera's on, I don't think I'm going to slip up. I don't think I'm going to mess it up.
If we do this enough,
it's going to come out. I'll get comfortable, and then I won't be in my head about like talking in front of strangers. I really would like more eye contact while we do this because I feel like you're talking to a bunch of people and it's making me nervous.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is good for you. If it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you, right?
Yeah, fair.
So this is good. One day you're going to be speaking in front of lots of people in real life. So.
Yeah, that is something that I don't like about myself is there's so much of my parents left over in my life that I'm trying to, at least like the not so beneficial parts of them, I'm trying to undownload and put new habits on top of, and there's so many of them. But the main one that I got from my mom that is just so hard to deal with is the cussing.
Anyone else cuss in church?
I've never done that. I don't know about you, but I've never.
No, you haven't.
So that's what I don't like it. So I'm changing it, and you guys are along for the ride.
So one thing though, Chris is arguing with me is he says that
hell is not a cuss.
He thinks hell is not a cuss word. I think hell is a cuss word. Who's right? So we need you to settle this in the comments. I'm sorry that she's doing this to you guys. Let's move forward. Because
but for real, hell's not a cuss word, right?
The money that goes in that jar goes to me for the girl fund. I don't know if y'all have heard about the girl fund, but that's, that's makeup, that's stuff that's girl stuff. I need that money, so hell is a cuss word. You hear me? Put in the comments.
If so, Ray owes the cuss jar right now, like
no.
hells.
This is about you. I'm allowed to have slip-ups. You don't like it, you're changing it.
All right, fair. So,
what the hell, man?
Let's I do want to talk about vision creation.
Okay.
I want to jump into the last segment because it's like the whole point of this episode was to give somebody something actionable that they can use, and we've just been rambling about who we are and stuff. It's probably boring.
Let's do it.
I want to jump into vision creation because the one thing that's changed my life the most since Christopher was born I owe so much to Jordan Peterson because I did like the future authoring program thing. And it kind of just gets you thinking about if you continued on in your life exactly how you've been up to this point, where are you going to be in 5 years? Where are you going to be in 10 years? And this is not just like, oh, think about it for 2 seconds. It's write it down. Write down where you think your life will be in 10 years. If you keep doing all the miserable things that you know is holding you back in life, where are you going to end up? And then once you've done that, you write down, if you could find something worthy of pursuit, something that gets you out of bed in the morning, something that motivated you to want to change all those bad habits. If you could change those things magically, where would your life be if you really just gave it your all in 10 years? And then basically you got to look at that and be like, man, I don't want to be a fucking addict still. Oh, no. I don't want to be an addict still. I don't want to be an addict still. I don't want my kid to learn those behaviors. And instead, I want to win. I want to beat this. Because what's your option? Lay down and give up on life and let it roll you over for the next 40 years till you're dead? Or do you actually want to take life by the horns and try to, because we all have a vision. We all have like this perfect way that we think the world should be. And it's different for every single one of us. And the problem with an addict dying is that vision that only they could have brought to the world is now gone forever and will never get it. And that gives me goosebumps to think about, because we lose so many visions. Don't want to lose those visions. We want to develop them. So the point is that in the last 7 years, I figured out, at least for me, how to get sober, get clean, start to take control of my life, control all my dopamine inputs, get healthy, get moving. And I've used a lot of systems from a lot of different people. And one of the things that has been instrumental in my life was the creation of the vision. So here's like, I wanted to give you guys like the straight up rundown of how I lay it all out.
Hey, let's do that. We'll make another episode, steps to creating your vision. And you got to show them your vision.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we could do it right now. Now. Wait, let me get this. Now.
Let's do a part 2 where you lay out the steps. You guys want steps, some actionable steps on how to create? I think that's a great.
Oh, wait. We have to at least give them a homework assignment that's on the road.
Okay.
For fun. This is not some high school thing where I'm going to ask you to write down a bucket list for fun with all the cool little toys you want to have. But this is your homework. If you want your life to change and start to be able to create a vision, something worth getting up every day for, this is where I started.
He made me do it too.
Ray's done it. Everybody, if I get you alone for 15 minutes, I want you to write out a bucket list. I want to talk to you about your dreams. So this is it.
Go ahead.
Write out a bucket list of, if your life was perfect, if you won the lottery, had all the money in the world, had perfect fitness and nutrition and health, and you were the best version of yourself.
Your knees didn't hurt.
Write out 100 things that you want out of this life. So start with family, wife, kids. What do those relationships look like? Who are your friends? Who are your partners, like in business or whatever pursuit that you're doing in hobbies? What are your hobbies? What do you love to do in your free time? Where do you live? Your ideal home, vehicles, whatever that you can think of.
Think big.
Think huge. And even more than that, What skills even? What skills did you gain? What things do you wish you knew that you don't know now? What experiences out of life, like vacations, mentoring people? If you wanted to help people in some way, write your ultimate bucket list of what you want from life. And I mean ultimate. Do not stop at just like, car, house, whatever. Take it further than you think is even possible.
Like if you won the lottery, for real. Like, if you won the lottery and money.
If you want the biggest mansion on all of Earth, write that shit down. Whatever your dream is, all the things that you want, get it all on there. Do not stop until you have 100. And then that is your homework. We're going to jump on top of that next week. And feel free to share your 100 items in the comments. Me and Chris are going to try to do a good job of reading everybody's comments. So if you have something I'll show you mine. Mine are going to be right here. This is the only edit that I'm doing in the video, right here.
This is a lot.
This is mine.
And I look at this. I've looked at this for over a year, going on 2 years now. Right here in our bedroom.
Yeah. I have it right on my wall. I look at it all the time.
Yeah. I love it. My God. How you've changed.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you guys know Chris, if you've known Chris, you know. If you didn't know Chris, you wouldn't.
That's for the best.
You wouldn't believe how far he's come. So hopefully you guys picked out a few gold nuggets out of that today. Got to know us a little bit better, and we look forward to going on this journey with you. So we're going to end it with...
If you don't like it...
Change it.
Fucking crying in a podcast.
Love it.
It's bullshit.
You did great.